YouTubians. I've stolen that from Kermit's Ghost. I'm here today to start a new series. It's going to be Lisa Recommends. Could be Lisa Loves Recommends, but no, we're going with Lisa Recommends. This is going to be a weekly series with basically something that I recommend to you guys that you may not have heard of, or you may have, who knows, but anyway, a recommendation. And I'm kicking off this first series with something quite unusual for me because I do not tend to listen to podcasts. I do on a very rare occasion. If I get a recommendation from a friend, I will check it out. More often than not, I haven't continued listening to podcasts because it hasn't quite grabbed me, I'll be honest. I think if you sort of travel in the car a lot and you've got access to listening to things, you probably listen to podcasts more often than others. I like listening to podcasts at night in bed before I go to sleep, so it helps me relax and wind down. So anyway, that out of the way, I am recommending a podcast this week. This podcast is one, there are 3 episodes out on it at the moment. The guys that do it don't want to inundate you with loads of stuff for you to have to keep up with, because the world is there's so much going on. So these guys, I don't know how much I should be saying. These guys, Movie Massacre, I'm not going to give any real names. This is a real name, and Jimmy. These guys are friends. They're both from the north of England. They both have moved almost to the other side of the world. And coincidentally, they live within commuting distance of each other in completely different places. So these buddies have been able to continue their friendship. My phone's switched off. And they get together every once in a while to do an episode of If Podcasts Could Kill. Have I said the title? That's what I'm recommending, If Podcasts Could Kill. I'm going to pop in a little bit of artwork here. This was actually penned by Jimmy himself. I love it. It's just such an awesome piece of artwork. And it shows himself and Movie Massacre where they're getting on down doing their podcast. I'm going to pop in a little photograph for you here to see, just to highlight these guys are both Yorkshire lads. Anyone that knows me in any way well will know my husband is from Yorkshire. You know, I lived in Yorkshire for quite a few years myself before we moved back to Ireland. I have a love for the place, I have a love for the people. They're very down to earth, very similar to us people from Northern Ireland. What you get, what you get. You know, what you see is what you get. There's no airs, there's no graces. Down to earth, salt of the earth type guys. So let's get into the subjects. There's only 3 here, so I'm going to tell you what they are and what they're about and why I really enjoy this podcast, why it stands out to me from other ones. So we've got They're Coming For You, Barbara. Do I need to tell you what this podcast is about? If you're a horror fan, I very much doubt that fact. This is obviously Night of the Living Dead. My husband is a crazy, he adores Romero. So I'm very much aware of all these Romero movies. This isn't one of the better ones. I'm not a fan of a couple of the later ones, I admit, but the early Dead series, yeah, love it all day long. I will go on to, I'm just going to tell you what the episodes are first. So the next one, See Anything You Like. I used that line in a Halloween tag for picking one of your favourite lines or a line that stands out to you from the Halloween franchise. That's the one I picked. This is obviously about I think, to my memory, it's about the original Halloween movie. It's not the entire franchise. They go into the original Halloween, what it means to them both, just bits of the movie that stands out for them, you know, like the part with Michael's mask just before that closet scene, and you get that glimpse at the side of his mask and you can't see anything else, and they just discuss things which really get to them, which touch them, which frighten them, which make them laugh. And what I love about these guys is it's like listening to a conversation between friends. It's like being with friends, and you just wish that you could talk back. You feel yourself feeling like it's real time, and you listen to them talk to one another. Now, they probably have a script of sorts. They write down what they're going to do, but it doesn't come across if that's the case. It sounds like 2 guys that are good friends as they are. And that translates. Sitting down, having a chat about something that they love, horror movies. And I just felt myself, I felt myself wanting to talk while I was listening to it. And that's how I knew that it had me engaged, it had me interested. These guys, I don't know what way to put this, you just instantly find yourself liking them. Just the way they talk, the warmth of the way they talk about things, how they interact with one another. They're very much themselves. They laugh during it. They make jokes. it's just a really warm, friendly, like a big hug, like a good cup of tea, or like they would say, like a good old cup of Yorkshire tea. They will tell you there's night like Yorkshire tea. So, it's now gone off my screen. So after that one, the last one that I listened to it's called Scared of Something. That one's actually about a movie that I'm not as familiar with as the others. I have seen it. It's the Candyman movie. I remember that really creeping me out when I was a lot younger. I think I've seen it once since, so I've maybe only seen it twice. But it's just the detail these guys go into, but it is never boring. It's never dull. It's funny, it's engaging, and they give you facts that you maybe didn't know either. So you'll get background facts about the movies, about the production of the movies, just different things. I'm really conscious I want to keep this short. I don't want to have a really big long recommend series. I just really want you guys to go over and check these guys out. Anyone in the horror community will already know who Movie Massacre is. Obviously, I work closely with him on Three from the Grave with Strange Monkey. I love his stuff. I always have done long before Three from the Grave came along. His style and his wit reminds me a lot of my husband, and he's just a funny guy. He's a funny, down-to-earth guy. Jimmy is an awesome lad. He's a very good friend of Movie Massacres. I keep hearing myself going to say his real name, and I shouldn't. But he's an awesome guy, very talented. You've seen that artwork. This guy has been kind enough to do voiceover work for us for our Three from the Grave show. He's an awesome lad, really helpful, really courteous, just really decent. And to me, you support these kind of people. You know, these are lovely guys, and they're doing something that's actually good. It's not a case of, this is my friend, I want to plug this because it's my friend. That's not the case. There are people I know that do podcasts that I'm friends with. I don't listen to the podcasts because I don't enjoy them. This is fun, but it's not fun. There's never any cruelty. There's never any picking on people. There's never any offensive stuff. It's just warm, nice, friendly, detailed. It's like sitting down and listening to a couple of mates. And that's the only way I can describe it to you. And I would really recommend that you check it out. They are available on several platforms. I'm going to stick a little image up here for you to see. I listened to it on SoundCloud. I will pop a link below in the description for you. It's also available on other mediums. I'll pop a picture up here for you. Google Play, as far as I'm aware, and there is another one which I don't know off the top of my head, but all the information will be below in the description, so you can go and listen on the platform of your choice. So yeah. Let me know, guys, below. I know a couple of you have checked it out and do really enjoy it. Strange Monkey, I know, does listen and does really enjoy it. If you've heard it, pop me a comment below in the comment section and let me know. If you haven't, consider going over and giving them a listen. The guys are a lot of fun. Like I say, there's not loads of material to wade through. What there is quality, it's good stuff, and they do have plans to get together in the new year and record some more stuff. So that's my first recommendation for my new recommend series. Unusual for me to recommend a podcast, but it's one of the few podcasts that I actually really do listen to, so that should tell you something. So yeah, next week I may recommend, I think, a book, maybe a couple, we shall see. I think we'll go with book next week. So until then, hope everyone's well, hope you check out the recommendation. Let me know what you think below. Over and out from Lisa Loves.